Hey, remember me? The guy that was vlogging during vacation. Then I had that birthday and started school and haven't had time to do anything since. Yeah, life has been throwing me side quests left and right, but I have not completely disappeared. Look, coming back from vacation is, entering adulthood again is not a fun process. Oh no, I just saw one of those spotted lanternflies. Supposed to kill those darn things. Trying to reset after vacation is always difficult because you got to get back to the normal stuff, and I had to get situated for school as well. So, I did enjoy, my birthday. I did a lot of just kind of relaxation and not really doing too much. Got together with a couple of friends, relaxed, and I spent a bunch of time messing around with Insta360 Studio, because a lot of the footage I recorded down in Playa del Carmen was actually done on the 360. The problem is I didn't necessarily know how to edit most of that stuff that I did on there. Wow, our pier is looking a little jacked right now. Uh-oh. Gotta be a little stable with this one. I'm gonna turn it around. See our pier? I feel like I gotta be a little careful where I'm walking on this thing, because that doesn't seem very stable. So yeah, I celebrated another trip around the sun. 50 years old. It's a weird feeling, I gotta tell you, because one day, I sit here and I look in the mirror and I go, I don't look 50, I don't feel 50, I don't act 50. It just kind of sneaks up on you. It's funny, if you actually go back and look at what 50 years old looked like back in like the 80s, it's kind of ridiculous. If anybody remembers Archie Bunker, he was 48 years old. Coach on Cheers was only 56. You look at like Norm and Cliff Clavin, they were both like 34 and 35 years old when that show started. Kelsey Grammer, believe it or not, was like 28 or 29 years old when Cheers started, which is just kind of ridiculous. But how people look back then, how people look now, completely different. Hats off to Paul Rudd, who still looks 32 years old when he's 56. I think he's 56. Dude's out there just absolutely crushing it. I actually treated myself to a new tattoo on my birthday. I got so inspired by the amount of people that were just tattooed down in Mexico. Gorgeous women, incredible tattoos. I was really shocked. Like maybe 60, 70% of the women I saw down there had tattoos in one form or another. And I've been wanting to get a new one for a while, so I finally updated on my arm here. I didn't expect to get it done on my birthday. I actually just walked in there to, figure out a time to set it up. And I was just gonna, hey, get some ideas tossed around. They had a guest artist who was in town. She had been there before. And what I was getting done was kind of simplistic. And we set it up, and she got it all done in one day. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it right now. If any of you guys follow Yes Theory on YouTube, this actually idea kind of came from there a little bit. I've always kind of believed in that motto of life is on the other side of your comfort zone. You really do have to get outside of your comfort zone to really start experiencing life. And unfortunately, I didn't find that out until much, much later on in life. So I purposely put myself in uncomfortable situations, such as, going to school again. Back in school after 30 years, my brain's like, hey, dude, we retired algebra like 30 years ago. I'm fortunate only one of my classes I have to do in person. Everything else is remote. And that is my biology, because there's like lab and lecture and everything that goes on with it. It's community college here. We're number 2 in the entire country, actually. And, there's going to be, a couple of older people mixed in here or whatever, but 95% of the class is like 18-year-olds. So it's a little bizarre being the older guy in there, but, at the same time, I'm at an age now where I really don't care about it. But it is very bizarre having to, go back to, learning how to study again, managing all this, because I'm just shy of a full-time schedule. Plus, I'm also doing poker on top of that. So trying to get back into a bit of a study mode is a little difficult, and trying to manage all the different things going on. One of my classes hasn't even started yet. Birds are going a little nuts out here today. So that's been a bit difficult. It was my first week down. I'm just coming in the second week right here, and I've got a little bit better feel for how things are going to go. But trying to manage that and manage a schedule, putting this all together, managing a poker schedule, and also doing creative work, really, really difficult, because there was just so much stuff going on in that first week. I'm finally on the mend with my cold. I saw my doctor as soon as I got back, put me on a Z-Pack. Everything's kind of getting taken care of with that. So fortunately, that's, starting to be much, much better. My head's feeling much, much better. I still have a little bit of raspiness in the voice, but, going on 4 weeks here trying to kick this. So that was a bit difficult in trying to do, but that's back to normal. And, I want to find time to do creative stuff. I don't want to give up on, putting out videos. I have all kinds of things I want to do, whether it's travel stuff, gear reviews, all kinds of things like that. But in these weeks where it's a little hectic and I don't know what each week is going to be like, in the beginning it might be harder, it might be easier, I have no idea. I still want to put out some kind of content because I still want to get in, the habit of just posting. Whether that's, once a week, just doing a vlog, that's fine. I'll go ahead and put those out there. But I want to make sure that, you guys know I'm not stopping. I'm not going to stop like I ever have in the past here. I actually spent a lot of time when I got back on my days off. I'm messing around, like I said, with the Insta360 Studio app. I now have a much more grasp of how everything on there works a lot better than I did before. It also means that I have a much better grasp on how I should be holding the 360 camera when I'm recording, because there are some of those recordings that are kind of like, oh man, I shouldn't have been moving the camera around like that. So these are all, learning lessons from doing that. But I have loads of B-roll, I have loads of footage from Playa del Carmen, tour of where I actually stayed at and everything. So I'm going to make a little mini travel video. That's something I'm going to work on over, the course of this and next week and do that. But I just want to keep, posting things on here and reaching out with people, because sometimes, life shows up and you don't have the time to do as creative as you'd like. But, I think it's still good to, get out there and post things, because I want to keep in contact with, the few followers that I have. But also I want to make sure that I'm still in the process of, talking to the camera, editing, filming all this stuff, planning these things out, because for me, it's being creative helps me kind of reset my brain. Creativity for me is not optional. It's kind of like caffeine or Adderall or pretending that I'm going to fold that thing of laundry that I have sitting in the basket. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually getting that done today. If I don't make space for it, then I'm going to feel flat. I'm going to feel like I'm, running on autopilot, like I'm just waking up, grinding, going to school, studying, going to work, rinse, repeat over and over again. I mean, right now I still have to try to fit out a gym schedule, getting back into the gym. I had to take a break from being sick there because I couldn't breathe. So that's trying to get back into the gym schedule as well. And I'm not going to be able to do the same schedule that I did before. I'm going to have to move it around on a week-to-week basis. But creativity is really, really important for me to make sure that, I'm continuing that going forward. Yeah, I could easily say, I'm too busy with school and work to be doing any of this kind of stuff. But this is also really, really important to me. And, turning on this camera, getting behind the computer and editing and doing those things and firing that up, that's very, very important to me. Whether people are watching it or not, making a little bit of progress every single week is very, very important. And if I'm not going to vlog now when life's messy, then, I'm never going to vlog. You can't just, do these creative things when it's just convenient for you. If it's important to you, you make the time. Even if it's still just me rambling to the camera for 5 minutes, that's still creating. That's still getting it out there. I still get to sit down and put this behind the computer and edit it down and make sure that I'm just not falling out of, the repetition of doing this and putting in, and putting out more videos. So there's still so much more I want to learn with DaVinci Resolve. So some of that stuff's not going to make for a very exciting video until I am good enough at it that I can teach people with it. But I'm going to keep on doing some of those training, and I'm trying to spread things out. But right now I wanted to make sure at least I got a video out there. I'm not gone. I'm still out here. It's just been a very overwhelming week. So yeah, life's been full, but I need this. And maybe you do too. Here's to finding creative time even during the chaos. Now, excuse me, I have poker ranges to study and discussion board posts that I haven't posted yet. Oh Lord, here we go. All right, guys, thanks. That is vlog 31 for me. We're not doing the challenge anymore, but I still want to put these out there. Thanks, guys, and peace.